names, and I've got the reports, the true reports. I got the reports that the media doesn't have, that MLive doesn't have. They didn't put on everything, but I have all the reports, and we're going to go about it. I just want to say, well, thank you, Sister Dolores. Before we get started the broadcast, we're going to bow on a word of prayer. Father and our God, we do thank you for this day that you have made. You have commanded that we rejoice and be glad in it. And so, Father, we're rejoicing for the day. We ask you to bless our listening audience, bless the radio station, bless our photographers and cameras and all those who would take part in this broadcast and the Facebook feed. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, I'm going to put my hat back on my head because I got a little shine and I don't want the light to hit my shine. But anyway, good morning, WFLT, and good morning to our Facebook listeners. You can follow us on Facebook at 810 News Media Group. Again, 810 News Media Group. Or you can follow me live, AC Dumas, on Facebook. And before we get started, I want to let you know that some of what you may hear may be voice graphic to all ages. Again, as I said, we're going to talk about what happened at 637 West Pulaski Street in Flint, Michigan on May 28, 2022, when two, I kind of get bubbled in my spirit and wounded, two young black boys died. They didn't die in the fire, but they died a few days later because of the fire there. And a lot had been said and a lot had went out. And, I was one of the first that brought this to the attention. And while Mayor Neely wants to sweep it under the rug, while he doesn't want the people to know about the truth, he does sound bites and mirrors to reflect the truth. But I'm here to tell the truth. I'm reminded what Jesus said. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The truth is the only thing that makes you free. And it's time out for people to listen to lies and falsehood being manipulated and get the truth, because it's the truth that makes you free. And I want to thank God for our technician, Brother Mickey. And if you need his services, you can call him or email him at 810 News Media Group, or reach out to him on Facebook and pay him. Don't do it free. Jesus said, the scripture said that a servant is worthy of his hire. Y'all quit trying, we always try to use black folk, but we don't try to use them white folk, because white folk going to make you pay. I don't care if you like it or don't like it. So I would not do it if I wanted Mickey to do my stuff. And I know that these fantastic cameras, they cost money. So I engaged Brother Mickey, and thank you. All right, we're going to listen to this is graphic. You're going to listen to the tape that came from, that I got the tape from the 911 Genesee County 911 Center. And I want you to hear it. And Mick, can they hear me on Facebook? Do you need to put this over there so they can hear it? Okay, listen, I'm gonna let him put this on there, but he's gonna play the first section. Here you go.
As a fire, 637 Pulaski.
Sorry, is it a victim?
No, the weapon is
Pulaski.
right off Dumas Street. I think that's west.
Okay, hold on. Is it between Deacon and Montello?
Yes.
Okay, and your name? Your phone number?
What they're doing, they're just beeping out their names and phone number. Go ahead, just continue. Okay. Just leave this. Yeah.
All right, so the Deacon?
Facebook, can you hear?
Is it Polanski?
Right off Dumas Street. I think that's west.
Okay, hold on. Is it between DuPont and Longfellow?
Yes.
Okay, and your name? Your phone number?
It's the fire department, right? I'm looking right at the fire department. Right next to it.
Sir, what do you see?
I see smoke coming out the side of the house. There's fire in there.
All right, other cars
No.
in the driveway?
Yes, it's over. White over.
Are you knocking on the door?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Anybody answering?
Nobody's answering.
All right, get away from the house, okay? We're turning on the fire department, okay?
Just over there. I don't have to be on it. I want them to hear it. Just sit it over there. You can put it toward me. All right. Now I think you all can hear me. I'm just gonna have Nick. You don't have to. They can see me from there. Nick, I want you to go down to right there. That was a caller that called in from the neighborhood, looking right at the fire and the fire station. I want you to go to the next one. Is at 9 o'clock at 9 o'clock .59. Put that on, Mick, so they can hear it.
May 28, 2022, 9:59.
Fire, stand by for a second.
All right. Now we're going to go, and what that was, let me tell you what that was. That was the fire engines that came. Engine number, you good over there. I think they can hear me. Engine number 61, engine number 31, engine number 51, and pay close attention to engine number 51 and squad 1 and 2 and the battalion. Now we're going to go to 90838. Listen to this very careful, this one. Very careful. And and Brother Mickey trying to handle phones and everything.
May 28, 2022, 9:08:38.
Coming right now. Officer battalion. Fire found primary first floor negative.
That's important. Fire out, and what did it say? First floor negative. That means when nobody, or they didn't find anyone on the first floor. That's why that's very important. Now we're going to go to 908:46, and these are the actual tapes from 911. I know when Mr. Woodson and them do it, they're going to have it much better than me.
28, 2022, 9:08:46.
Copy primary first floor negative. Guys on the scene, sir. I'm assuming command officer engine 31 of the operations.
Now, what they just said, they put engine number 31 out of operation. Again, they repeated that the first floor was negative. I'm hearing everything about the first floor. Now, listen to this very, very, very careful. We want to go to 9:10:24. 9:10:24. Listen very careful. All right, he's kind of adjusting it. Sometimes you have to scroll up.
9, 10, 24.
Copy, primary, second floor, negative. Break. Opposite interior, 6-1 fireman doing the basement to cut the power.
Let me tell you.
RIT.
Let me tell you why that's important. They didn't even go up on the second floor, but they saying the second floor is negative. You heard it. They said they said second floor negative, going to the basement to cut the power. And guess what? In this report, this is the real report. They didn't go down to the basement then to cut the power. That was just a lie. They did not do it. They filed a false report because later down in the at 9:18, you can not. I don't want you to go there now. Listen, 9:18:26, engine 11. They sent them back to the scene, and I'm gonna give you a narrative. And of course, Art and them, they're gonna really be doing it when they do it. And it says, listen, at 9:15. 9:11:02. Can you get that right quick? Sometimes you have to scroll up until 9:11:02. Scene clear. Engine number 11. Cancel. Pulaski Avenue. That's what it's going to say.
28, 2022, 9/11/02.
Seems clear. Once the engine 11, you can cancel for Pulaski.
I told you what it says because this is what it says. They cleared it. They sent engine number 11 back to the station. We don't need you. We don't need you no more. Go back to the station. Then at 9:57, 9:15 in the morning and 57 seconds. You got it? Play it.
May 28, 2022, 9:15:57.
All units at second floor. All manpower, second floor, no victims.
They found some victims on the second floor. Victims on the second floor. And this was, I told you that pay attention to 51. That's Fire Station 5. I think it's over on the east side. It was two black young men that found, when they came on the scene, they went up. The superiors sent them upstairs. Now the white firefighters, none of them went upstairs. They sent the two black firefighters upstairs to throw an air condition out of the window. And in the course of that, according to this and the tapes, they found the two black boys in a bedroom with a door closed. The white firefighters didn't even go up there, but they sent the black firefighters up there. Let me give you the names of the two white firefighters first. Daniel, and this, and I got you and whoever won, I got that information already for you. Daniel, and this is his name. This is the one that Neely said retired. No, the fire chief said fire him. Neely went above the fire chief and let this guy, for political reason, trying to get the endorsement of the Flint Firefighters Union. His name was, this is the one that retired, Daniel, and I'm going to spell his last name because I'm terrible with names, Sniegocki. Again, Daniel, Sniegocki. He retired. Let me tell you why that's a disgrace. Because I was told by another media source that he's applying for a job in another municipality because he retired. I'm going to say this, that criminal charges should be brought on both him and the other white firefighter. criminal charges. And it's time for the police, the state troopers, the sheriff department to go to Prosecutor Layton and demand that charges be filed for, number one, they filed a false police report. And I heard Mr. Woodson say on another show, you try to do some of a bridge card, $5 worth. They're going to try to send you to the penitentiary. You go because you hungry, you go in and get steal a bag of chips. They're going to try to prosecute, the police going to file a complaint. They're going to try to send you and us to the penitentiary. But these two white firefighters failed to do their jobs that they were paid to do. They took an oath of office and they promised to protect and serve the residents of the city of Flint, and they did not do it. Now let me tell you the name of the other firefighter. Michael J., I'm going to spell his name, Z-L-O-T-E-C, Z-L-O-T-E-Z. He was just disciplined. He was given 2 weeks off. He's back to work. Remember, this happened May 28th, and a whole bunch of stuff was happening, but Mayor Neely hid it. He would not let it go out, especially before the primary, because he did not want the people to know what was going on. Now, if you got some questions, Nick, just tell me. Now, let me give you the names of the two black firefighters. Y'all pay close attention to this. One was Fred Presswood. He's a lieutenant with the Flint Fire Department. And the other one is Lawrence Edwards. Lawrence Edwards is the son of the deputy fire chief, Kerry Clemens Edwards. Those black men, especially Lawrence Edwards, went upstairs. They were ordered to go upstairs and rescued those two black babies, while the two whites didn't go up there and left them up there to die. That is a shame and a disgrace. And did Mr. Neely give them accommodation? Did he give them at least a key to the fire station or the key to the city? No, because he wanted this to be kept under the wraps. Mr. Neely was wrong. He should be prosecuted. Those two white firefighters should be prosecuted. And anybody in there that hid this should be prosecuted. I'm putting it out there. I want to thank Fire Chief Barton. He did an excellent report. And in his report, when you see it, and M. Lai had it correct, he said what the truth was. But Neely did not want the public to hear the truth. So again, those two white firefighters, one retired. We're going to pay him a pension unless he gets charged. And he's going out looking for another job. And the other one has been disciplined. 2 weeks. He's back on the force. And, you know, we heard what the fire union said. We got what they said, the president, trying to blame it on the parents, on the dad. They didn't have a smoke detector. The boy was in there by themselves. Legally, Michigan law states that they were legally there. The young boy could be legally there under state law. But here again, another cover-up. Let me give you some more information. Why don't you go to Nick? Can you go to 2018, 9/18, 2016? You may have to go down. You all listen to this. This is very, very, very important. This part. It's going to be disturbing. 9/18, 26. 9/18/26. Let me tell you what it said until he gets it.
I got it.
You got it? Well, click on it, please, sir.
May 28, 2022, 9/18/26.
City Engine 11, heavy Deacon route to 637 west Pulaski, 2 victims, one so far, and now 18.
Look, they sending them back. I see we even got the police looking. How you doing, police? There's no following me on Facebook. Good morning. I want you to look. So maybe you can take and go file a complaint over there with the prosecutor's office. Listen what it says. Back to Route 637 West Pulaski Street. They sending Engine 11 back to the route. 2 victims found so far. That lets you know that the white firefighters didn't go up there. But the black firefighters, who should be accommodated, get a medal for bravery.
We do have a question for you.
Go ahead, what's the question?
This one's Satire Sword. She said, so now that we have this information, Mr. Dumas, what now? What are we going to do besides give out the information? Just wondering if you have a plan of action.
Well, the plan of action is the people that have a plan of action to press Neely and press the city council, the police chief, and all of them to file charges. That's the plan of action, to file criminal charges against Daniel Sniegocki, one of the white retired firefighters, and Michael J. Zolek, Zlotek, who was disciplined. It's their job to file charges. They need to file, the state police need to file charges with the prosecutor, the sheriffs, and he knows now, Swanson, and also the city police chief need to file charges. That's what the plan of action should be. And the second plan of action is don't vote for Neely and file charges against Neely. This was a cover-up. The FBI needs to be in here. The Department of Justice needs to be in here. They go down to Detroit, Benton Harbor, investigate everything. But in the city of Flint, this kind of nonsense goes on and on and on. You just heard that 2 victims were found so far. Now, this is important. 9/22/40. Listen to this. Remember they said they were going up, down to the basement and cut the power. You already heard that. Now listen to this right here. This is very important. Listen. Got it?
May 28, 2022, 9/22/40.
Listen, you know why that's important? Now they're in the basement. And in the basement, they found 4 dogs were in the basement. According to the real report, they found 4 dogs in the basement. They're going down there to cut the power. But remember, up there, they said at 9:08, they were going, 9:08, 9:10, they were going in the basement to cut the power. They lied. They didn't do it. And let me read from this report. And this is from the real report. This is from the real people that investigated. It says, during suppression efforts, 4 dogs were also removed from the structure. When you say also, well, whatever was removed, the 2 babies were removed. So 4 dogs were also removed from the structure in the basement and placed in the care of family friends. And you know, it was something, listen to this, Brother Wilson, if you can hear, listen what this said. In the confusion on the scene, the electrical power was not turned off and was later brought to the feds' attention by Michigan State Police fire investigators as the fire investigation was being conducted. They lied. The Michigan State Police investigators said they lied. In other words, hey, no power was cut off. In the midst of confusion, two young black boys died. In the midst of their confusion. Listen, we got about 4 minutes left. Y'all got some questions. At 9:41:31. This is going to be very important. 9:41:31. Got it?
May 28, 2022, 9:41:31.
I want to also add this again. You can contact with Sergeant Mercer. He'll be responding to the delayed response. Also, Chief Barnes has been notified, and our fire prevention bureau has been notified. They're also responding.
Remember, Chief Barton was out of town for a funeral. But they called and notified. Let me tell you what it said, just in case you couldn't hear it. It said Chief Barton and Fire Prevention notified. Michigan State Fire Marshal was notified. Message left for Flint City Fire investigators. Yes, they notified Chief Barton, but he was out of town. I think he was in New Orleans or something. They had to notify those individuals. And all that is here on this report. All that is here on this report. I got about a minute left. And as I wrap up, we just want to say, well, I got 3 minutes left.
It was a question.
Question, go ahead, question.
I want you to put this on the air before I go out, Mr. Winter. She said, point of information, please announce on air why this didn't come out before the primary.
Because it didn't come up before the primary, because Neely didn't want it to come up before the primary. He wanted to keep the people in darkness and all that foolery, and for them to go out and vote for him. He wanted to make an announcement about how great they're going to have a water park downtown. He did not want to do that. He is bamboozling the people, and especially the black community. That's why it didn't come up. He don't want it to come up now. It's been limited said about it. But we're going to bring it out. Winters Hall on your show, 810 or Woodson, everybody. We want it to be brought out. And to answer the question, we need to demand that charges be filed against those 2 white firefighters who failed to do their duty. You said not only was it negligence, it was gross negligence. Gross negligence. And I'm speaking loud so all of you all can hear me because my phone is some way away. And I want to read this as I go out, just to remind you that we want you to go down to Flint City Council. When's that? Wednesday? What time? 5:30. Get there about 5 o'clock. Get there at 5 o'clock. We ought to pack council meeting out at 5 o'clock and demand that Neely's supporters and Neely's non-supporters demand that those 2 be fired, not only fired, but criminal investigations be brought against them, against the city attorney, William Kim, because he knew about all this and all other ones. And he gonna lay it on the city administrator, Clyde Edwards. You know, the council need to bring all of them and subpoena them. Do they have subpoena power? And bring all of them in and swear them in under oath. That's what you can do, council, because they lied. And I'm saying they lied. So I just want to thank you all for listening to the Truth Shall Make You Free broadcast. And we're going to follow up on this. And I want to let my Facebook friends know that we're going to continue for about a half hour. I see Mr. Community activist Art Woodson have come. Come on in and join me for a minute, Art Woodson. All right, they done threw me off the air. I knew they threw me off the air. But come on in, Art, and he's gonna come in, and y'all stay tuned, cause we live on Facebook. We live on Facebook, and Mickey gonna have us live on Facebook. And Art, let me put the camera on us.
All right, there we go.
Okay, well you can turn it. You know, see you know all that. I got you a copy of this report.
All right.
I'm giving you a copy of the tape
Okay.
when you pay for it, because I had to pay for it.
Hey, so we go half.
I paid for my copy, then you want to pay for your copy.
We go half.
See, there you go. Okay, well, guess who won't be getting a copy? Mick, guess who won't get? I'm gonna give him a copy of this free now.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give him a copy of this free.
Hey, Mickey, you see what I'm saying, man?
I tell you,
Hey, that's price gouging, man. You know,
listen, everybody.
what you got.
Listen, this is a bad time, Hart. Everybody got to get paid, man.
I'm saying you're gonna get it for free.
They won't even drop a piece of litter unless they get
Hey,
paid.
Mickey, if I pay him what he paid, he got it for free, and I'm paying for it.
Well, you need to pay me $20 then.
How am I paying for a copy?
All right,
From the streets, I calculate.
all right.
All right.
I'm
just messing with you.
I hear you. You're going to get your copy like this. I got it for you already made.
I like the way that you got it broke down also. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You got it broke down.
And I'll give you a copy of this and some of the highlights right here, what I had, what Nick had. And you all can make copies of it. But what you got to say, Art?
It's confusing when you read the newspaper, because I went to June 30th, 2022, where ABC had received the 911 tapes, and where it's canceled. You know, I didn't know that Engine 11 had left the scene and canceled the engine that was 51 that was en route. I think that's what it said, right?
These were all there. 61. 6 is that's fire station 6. That's fire station 3. That's fire station 5. A squad 1 and 2 and a battalion chief. Mm-hmm. They were all summons dispatched to 637 West Pulaski Avenue. They were all there. Then right here at 9:08, out of operation, engine 11, engine number 1, that must be at the main fire station. Out of operation, primary first floor negative. Nothing happened. So they sent scene clear, 911, scene clear, engine number 11, cancel. Cancel Pulaski Avenue.
So he's telling all these up here that was dispatched along with the battalion that it's canceled.
He said they want everybody to stay except for the main. This number 1. Skip the 11 is number 1. That's fire station 1. That's the main fire station. They sending them back because remember the firefighter state, they got a shortage and they have to get manpower from wherever they can get. And I talked to a retired firefighter, and he said, he gave me there in my notes, that reason they send them because if a firefighter goes in, it's called RIT. They have to be there to protect the firefighter. Just can't go in the building and fall smoke. But you know what? The black firefighter failed, carrying a baby.
Right.
But he mustered enough strength. That was Edwards, Deputy Chief Firefighter Edwards' son, her son. But the Lord gave him enough strength, bringing down the first one, and gave him enough strength to go and get the second one. He need to be accommodated.
So what I gotta say is how the representative
from
tried to say that because of the heat, because of the heat and the smoke, they didn't want to go in there and they couldn't stay in there. But Kerry Edwards' son
and Fred Presswood
was able to go in there and retrieve 2 young boys and 4 dogs. Why couldn't they go in there and do the same thing for these young boys? And what makes it so upsetting is the fact that they were still alive. Could those 6 minutes have helped those young boys?
Well, you know, they died from, and I did talk to a relative. I'm not going to give the name. And other causes. not only smoke inhalation, but other causes related. When you read this report, you're going to find out that one of the boys, the victim was immediately carried out of the structure. He had heart congestion failure, all that, different things. He had burns.
From the heat.
I don't know. You have to read the report that they had and talk to one of the family members. But I like to go by what the official report says.
But here's something right
I
here.
got a question for y'all.
Here goes something right here, real quick. All right, on 9/10/24, you played it. Second floor negative. They said going to the basement to cut power.
Never went down there.
If they would have went down there and cut the power,
They'd have found the dog.
they'd have found the dogs.
Didn't go down
So
there.
now they lied on that part also. They really didn't go through this house.
They did not. I don't know. You got your glasses, or you can see, right here and read it.
During suppression efforts, 4 dogs were also removed from structure in the basement and placed in the care of family friend. So the dogs were still alive too.
And you know what? The dogs would, when you strange and y'all have dogs, you come to somebody's house, dogs will start barking if they're not familiar with you. Nick, if you got a dog and he knows it's just you coming home, he ain't gonna bark. But you let AC Dumas or Art come over there, they gonna start barking because they got that sense. The 4 dogs were down in the basement. Maybe that's where the owner kept them. I don't evidently. But Art, you ever see them press conferences when they have animal abuse?
Yeah.
They'll send you to the penitentiary. What was the football player with Michael Vick?
They changed the law to convict him of it, then changed it back.
Changed it for some animals.
Hey, but remember when the lady that got out the window?
And we got a question when you get finished.
The lady that got out the window over on the east side, and my man chased her and shot the dog. There was a lot of people mad more about him shooting the dog than beating that young woman, man.
And that's what I'm saying. We're calling on Layton. They and the sheriff and all those other municipalities. They love having press conference about animals. Are these 2 boys worth more or more valuable than an animal? Go ahead. We got some questions.
And this Councilwoman Tanya Burns, she said, what is the date of Fire Chief Barton's report and recommendation?
What is the date? What?
Of the recommendation.
The recommendation was like June, sometime in June. I don't have
I think it was July when they really started investigating.
Well, no, because you have to remember this. They got suspended
without pay.
And that was and give Neely credit, because I talked to the Michigan State Police. They said they should have suspended them with pay pending further investigation. But remember, I told you, y'all, city attorney who you all voted for, and the fire chief, this was in June, recommended, and the fire chief, William Kim, and the fire chief in June, not July, recommend that they be fired. This was in June, doing some of his investigation. He recommended. But guess what Neely did? He stepped over that. And this is to Tanya Burns, since she's listening. I want Miss Burns, Councilwoman 6th Ward Burns, who hates crime. If this ain't a crime, I don't know what is a crime. Will you think you can gather 5 votes to subpoena the fire chief, those firefighters, the mayor, the city attorney, and Clyde Edwards under the oath? Any other question?
Yeah, she said specifically what was the date of Chief Barton's recommendation, and is the date on the document?
Yes, it's probably on the document, but I have to go through all of that. It's 15 pages of the document. And let me tell you where that report is, Art. That report is in the one that you have to get from the city. I FOIA'd it. I'm waiting for it. Maybe you can get it. You don't think they're gonna dance around my FOIA?
You know, I'm still waiting for a FOIA from 2019.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
2019, you waiting for a FOIA?
I paid $161, and I'm still waiting for a FOIA from 2019. And I paid. Yeah, I paid for it, and I'm still waiting for it. But here's the problem that I have, right? Is that the representative from the fire department tried to make it look bad.
Kendrick. His last name is Kendrick.
He tried to.
He's a new president.
He tried to make it look bad by saying there was no smoke alarms and they shouldn't have been left at home, trying to make the two firefighters look like the victims. Then also, here's the part that I'm not understanding. If you are understaffed, why do we not hear the mayor saying we need to use ARPA fund to hire more firefighters? I don't. Have you heard them talk about
I
that?
haven't heard at all.
I mean, the last time I heard new firefighters being hired was when Mayor Weaver was in office, and she hired 34 firefighters.
All right, read this right here from the report.
Second victim, full arrest.
That means CPR.
CPR in progress. CPR in progress. Second victim. EMS entered from DuPont, Pulaski.
Right.
Secondary search negative.
So they searched the first time and found none. Then the witch call went in there. The black firefighters went in there. Now they're trying to say that, after everything they found, then they went in there again, acting as though it's a second search. Actually, it was the third search.
Right.
Any more questions? And like I said, I didn't go through all these notes, and they're in order. You can see the cars in driveway, the caller knocking on the door, and all like that. All that's in the real report. I don't know what the other report says, because Neely will have stuff doctored up. And one great thing about our fire chief, guess what? He already retired. They can't do it. He should quit. He should just resign. Because what's going to happen, he's going to, like the union, who's the union brotherman on our?
The dad detectives and not having and leaving them at home. But you know what's Chief Barton didn't mince. He didn't mince words. He said,
"Yeah, read the article from him."
He said each gave false accounts of their actions during the May 28th, and that their actions or lack of action possibly contributed to the loss of life of two victims while damaging the good name of the department. This don't sound like Chief Barton was the one that said, "Hey, I want you to resign and I want to put you on a 2 weeks vacation." I don't think Chief Barton would have done that by using this type of language. Chief Barton recommended a termination. So who is the question that Council Burns or any of the council people need to ask? Who gave or allowed these firefighters to resign, and who disciplined this firefighter?
Well, discipline action, doesn't that come from personnel?
HR.
Can you read you got the whole article from MLive. Right. Can you read that? Because a lot of people don't get MLive.
Two Flint firefighters who issued an all clear during a house fire in May on West Pulaski Street never searched a room where two children who died were later found, according to an internal investigation by the city. The report, written by Fire Chief Raymond Barton and obtained by MLive, the Flint Journal, says the two firefighters, one a sergeant who has resigned and another one who has been disciplined, knowingly made false reports when they claimed to have searched the home, second floor, calling off a continued search for entrapment victims. Two brothers, Zaire Mitchell, 12, and Lamar Mitchell, 9, were left in smoldering heat and
Wait, left where?
in smoldering heat and heavy smoke for roughly 6 minutes.
Okay, stop there. He got that report from an inside from the Flint. I ain't got that report yet. See, that's how go read.
After the all clear was issued until the time they were found during the secretary's sweep by other firefighters who took them from the home. Both brothers were alive when they were taken from the house, but died just days later due to injuries suffered in the fire, the city has said previously. Barton's report says the two firefighters, identified as Sergeant Daniel Goski and Michael Zotek, each gave false accounts of their actions during a May 28th fire, and that their actions or lack of action possibly contributed to the loss of life of two victims while damaging the good name of the department. But a representative of Flint Fire's Local 352 said Friday, August the 12th, that the two men have been made scapegoats in the fatal fire investigation, even though they failed to search a small room on the second floor because of extreme heat and very low visibility. And right there, again, why are you trying to make excuses for these two firefighters?
I got another question for y'all.
Okay.
Okay, this from Councilwoman Tanya Burns. She said, Chief Barton's recommendation is very specific, and who made the determination not to follow Chief Barton's recommendation? What was the recommendation of HR and city attorney?
Right. And that's what I'm asking. But I can't get the answers, but Councilwoman Burns can because she's on council. So that's a good question to ask Wednesday, to the department heads of what's going on. Well, all we can do is speculate.
Well, this is from Attorney Greg, no sound. Oh, it ain't. Oh, I don't know why. You can't hear me?
That's probably just his, though. Ask them to give you likes if they can hear
If you can hear me, give me likes.
Oh, Tanya said she can't get it either. Councilwoman Tanya Burns said she can't get it either.
Me?
No, the information.
No, the information.
Oh, okay.
Report.
Well, listen to this. This is Greg Gibbs. Hey, Greg. Also, go to send what you sent to me, Greg, to 810 News Media Group. 810 News Media Group. Now, this is what he said. He's an attorney. 750.478. Willful neglect of duty, public officer or person holding public trust or employment penalty. Let me see it. I can hear you. Here we go. When any duty is or shall be enjoined by law upon any public officer or upon any person holding any public office, trust, or employment. So I don't know how to do all this. Oh, here we go. Or willfully neglect to perform such duty, where no special provision shall have been made for the punishment of such delinquency, constitutes a misdemeanor punishable by a year in jail or 1,000. But that is not gross negligence. Now,
but this is what you want to look at: falsifying government documents. That's the thing that you look at, because they falsified documents,
right?
And also, by them not going up there, could they be hit with manslaughter? They didn't intentionally try to kill him, but at the same time, they contributed to their death, possibly, by not going up there.
Right.
So the real question, and this is from Kendrick, the real question is, why were kids left home alone, and why were there no working smoke detectors in the home? Said Nick Kendrick, president of Local 352. It's a tragedy, but this is why we do primary and secondary searches. Kendrick said the union has filed a grievance regarding the 2-week unpaid suspension of Zotec and said the city has put firefighters in harm's way because of chronic understaffing, resulting in low morale. From what I've heard, I heard that the low morale came from the white firefighters saying that you have to stick up for your union brothers, and the black firefighters saying, no, I'm letting the people know the truth. Now, if you don't believe me, go find you a firefighter to talk to and ask them what's the truth. It's sad, man, that, people try to protect each other like that when they done did something. It reminds me of the water crisis.
Well, before you get in that insanity, you address Gibbs, and you rightfully, Attorney Gibbs, let's talk about falsifying documentation. Is that a crime? Is that just a misdemeanor? And what else you said?
By them saying that they checked and they didn't.
Could that constitute manslaughter?
Because, like I said, this is the same thing that happened in the water crisis, criminal charges. Eden Wells and Nick Lyons is charged with manslaughter for the Legionnaires victims where they falsified documents and also didn't alert the public about what went down. So can they also be charged because it's not premeditated? We're not looking at second-degree murder. What we can be looking at is involuntary manslaughter because the young boys died.
But what do that bring the mayor in, though? Well, he fell in that because, you know what I'm saying? If he was in that conversation, they was talking about recommendations about...
He was a part... Listen, let me tell you something. Don't nothing happen in my house. I'm the mayor of my house. I mean, whoever, a single mother, she's the mayor of her house. Don't nothing happen without the mayor. No.
Now, here's the thing with the mayor, right?
Well, you know him because you supported him before. I ain't never supported him. Go ahead.
But you knew him before I did because you used.
That's why I didn't support him because I knew him before you did.
But see,
I'm way smarter than you. You got going on there. That's why I didn't support him because I knew him.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
The snake just hadn't bit me yet.
Okay.
The snake bit me. He had bit you, so you knew that the snake was poisonous.
I always had snake protection boots on.
No, you
go ahead.
You dealt with the snake too, but the snake just hadn't bit me yet. And when I tried to pick the snake up and put him under my bosom,
let me give you this snake nearly shot. Now I just get vaccinated.
Here's what I'm looking at, right? The mayor wouldn't be involved in the manslaughter and all that part, right? He would be like Rick Snyder in the cover-up part. The cover-up is where you get got. Where he tried to hide it, if the firefighters turn around and say, hey, you know what? We tried to tell the truth, but the mayor told us not to tell anybody. Then that would be a charge against the mayor. Something in that, that arena of the cover-up. That's like Rick Snyder. When we told him about the water crisis and he and his people tried to cover it up, that's where they getting hit at. So if the mayor was told and he tried to say, hey, you know what? We can't let the public know. Let's just keep this under wraps. And he was in the commission of trying to hide stuff, then the mayor would be included.
You know what? This is very important. This report right here, very important.
So
go ahead, and you're reading from the MLive.
Correct.
Go ahead.
So Barton's report says that during his own walkthrough of the home, he saw no signs that searches was carried out in any of the second floor bedrooms in accordance with department training, noting one bed was still made with undisturbed items on it. The investigation says a lieutenant who led the crew that finally discovered the Mitchell boys reported there was no way that they, the firefighters who claimed to have performed the search entered the bedroom where the victims were found and missed them. The report says one of the boys were found immediately inside the bedroom door and would have been found if either firefighter had searched inside. The second brother was found on top of bed in the same room, according to the report. Both firefighters neglected to perform the task of completing a sweep of the second floor. Such neglect resulted in factually incorrect calls being made stating that the second floor sweep was negative and to cancel another fire truck that was en route. Due to the nature of this incident in question and the actions or lack of action possibly contributing to the loss of life of two victims, I have determined to terminate both firefighters' employment with the City of Flint's Fire Department, Barton wrote in his investigation. Rather than termination, Snaskowski resigned from the department, according to the records obtained by the Journal. Zoltek was placed on an unpaid 2-week suspension and was required to complete an 8-hour search and rescue refresher training course. Barton report says fire engines were dispatched to 637 West Pulaski at 9:01 a.m. on May 28th, and Kendrick said that call was made after a witness walked into Station 6 on Pearson Road, reporting smoke was coming from the home. Kendrick said firefighters who carried out the search are the top tier of the department. If my life depended on these two, I'm in good shape, he said. Earlier this week, the city announced the resignation and discipline of the firefighters in a news release, but shared few additional details from its internal investigation. Mayor Sheldon Neely has limited his comments to a prepared statement issued by the city. In it, Neely said he has full confidence in the thorough investigation conducted and ultimately Chief Barton's decision. The safety and security of our residents is paramount and must not be compromised, period. Neely's statement says, we demand that our firefighters protect and serve our citizens. Therefore, we must have the highest standards for their performance and zero tolerance for those who don't meet expectations. I stand with the fire department and our community in continuing to lift the family in prayer. And there's some more on here.
Yeah, but but all right, let's say this. Remember, you all heard the tape where the guy that was calling on the phone, reporting the fire. I'm looking at the fire. I'm looking at the fire station. He was on Pulaski. He didn't walk across the street and go on the fire station and say, hey, there's a fire over there. That's a lie.
Here's the problem that I have with Mayor Sheldon Neely's statement.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
He said that he has zero tolerance, man. Zero tolerance is firing both of them because both of them lied, man. And it contributed to the death or possible death of 2 young boys. Zero tolerance is taking it to the prosecutor saying, hey, do we have a crime that was committed here? That's zero tolerance, man.
In other words, let the prosecutor investigate.
Correct. And make sure.
Or the attorney general.
We know he will take misdemeanors and will not give a person a breath of fresh air. He will prosecute a black person in a heartbeat. Dr. Danielle Green.
Right.
Now, they told us that it takes 2 weeks to even get an investigation going. Hers was started in 1 day. All right? Because of Mayor Sheldon Neely. A deal can't be reached because of Mayor Sheldon Neely and William Kim. But you have 2 firefighters where you have evidence, and I'm done. All right.
All right. Well, one, thank you for listening to the Truth Shall Make You Free broadcast, and you follow me live on Facebook and 810 News Media. Stay tuned, and I hear you, Attorney Gibbs, but this is a cover-up, and it's in the worst way. And whatever those firefighters need to be held accountable. They need to this need to be sent to the Attorney General's office just in case a prosecutor Layton may have a conflict of interest, and this needs to be taken care of. Thank you, and God bless you. See you next week at 9:30 on the Truth Show. Make You Free broadcast. Bye now.